Bonjour tout le monde. Happy to take your questions.
Cheryl Krawchuk, CBC News. And if you could answer in English and French, please. Regarding NAFTA, why haven't we reached an agreement yet? There is a report in the Toronto Star suggesting President Trump is not willing to make any compromises.
We have said from the very beginning that we believe that there is a win-win-win out there. We know that a renegotiation of a 25-year-old accord is it's about time, and there are many things that we're looking at improving the accord by. We have engaged for the past year or so in a thoughtful, positive, constructive way. We will continue to. Our negotiators are right now down in Washington continuing to engage on it, but we've also been very, very clear. We will only sign a deal if it is a good deal for Canada. Again, no deal is better than a bad deal for Canada and for Canadians, and that's exactly what we are remaining firm on. However, we know that it is very possible to get a deal that works in everyone's interests because, quite frankly, here in North America, the collaboration, the cooperation across our countries has resulted in extraordinary economic growth, extraordinarily good jobs for Canadians, Americans, and Mexican people alike. So we're going to continue to operate constructively, in good faith around the table, and we're looking forward to signing the right deal for Canada. Nous allons continuer d'être engagés à la table de négociation. Nous savons qu'une renégociation de l'ALENA après 25 ans est tout à fait louable comme but. Nous savons que c'est possible d'avoir un accord qui sera gagnant, gagnant, gagnant. Alors, nous restons constructifs, positifs autour de la table. Nous sommes là aujourd'hui à négocier. Mais en même temps, j'ai toujours été très clair, nous n'allons signer que ce qui est un bon accord pour le Canada et pour les Canadiens. La vérité, c'est qu'aucun accord de l'ALENA, ce serait mieux qu'un mauvais accord pour les Canadiens. Alors nous allons continuer de négocier de bonne foi et nous nous attendons à pouvoir réussir.
On another topic, with Alberta's announcement yesterday, how can you keep your climate change commitments?
We've been very clear from the very beginning that we know that growing a strong economy and protecting the environment must go together. We have moved forward on a national plan to fight climate change, putting a cost on pollution. We've moved forward on reconciliation, but we've also moved forward on growing our economy, particularly around working hard to do what previous governments were unable to do, and get our oil resources responsibly, sustainably, to new markets, that is, markets other than the United States. I think with everything that's been going on, people can kind of understand that having only the United States as a market for 99% of our oil resources simply doesn't make sense anymore. And that's why we've always believed that the Trans Mountain Pipeline expansion is in the best interest of all Canadians. We are committed to upholding the national interest. We will move forward on that pipeline in the right way. We are taking the time now to understand the court ruling, which addresses two things that are very important to this government: getting the science and the environmental protections right, and making sure we are walking forward in a true path of reconciliation and partnership with Indigenous peoples. These, yes, are challenges, but they've always been challenges that we've been ready to address, and we're going to continue to move forward to get this pipeline built in the right way by acknowledging what the court has said. Nous avons toujours dit que nous comprenons que ce que nous devons faire en tant que pays, en tant que société, c'est d'assurer qu'on crée de la croissance économique tout en protégeant l'environnement en même temps. Qu'il n'y a pas de choix à faire entre l'un ou l'autre. Les Canadiens s'attendent à ce qu'on crée de meilleurs emplois pour leurs enfants dans les années à venir, tout en protégeant notre environnement pour les générations futures. Donc, nous allons continuer de faire ça. Nous allons regarder attentivement ce que la Cour a présenté hier. Nous allons réfléchir comment nous pouvons continuer d'améliorer nos relations avec les peuples autochtones, d'assurer que nos actions pour protéger l'environnement sont les bonnes et reflètent la science. Nous allons aussi continuer de travailler sur cet oléoduc de la bonne façon. Nous savons que c'est extrêmement important de pouvoir accéder à de nouveaux marchés pour nos ressources. Présentement, on est prisonnier, d'une certaine façon, du marché américain. Et je pense que tout le monde peut comprendre que ce serait peut-être une bonne idée qu'on ait d'autres marchés que les États-Unis pour nos ressources naturelles. Et c'est pour ça qu'un oléoduc qui est fait de la bonne façon, en respectant et l'environnement et les partenariats avec les peuples autochtones, continue d'être dans l'intérêt national.
Charlotte Mondou-Fournier de Radio-Canada. Évidemment, on aimerait que vous répondiez en français. J'aimerais d'abord rebondir sur la question de ma collègue. Le fait que l'Alberta se désiste du plan national de lutte contre les changements climatiques, qu'est-ce que ça veut dire en fait pour le plan? Est-ce que vous allez devoir le revoir?
Comme j'ai toujours dit, nous avons un plan concret qui va atteindre nos cibles de Paris. Nous avons mis sur pied un plan qui est pan-canadien, qui met un coup sur la pollution. Évidemment, dans l'idéal, on le fait en partenariat avec les provinces, en respect de la juridiction provinciale. Mais comme j'ai toujours dit, si il y a des provinces qui ne veulent pas participer concrètement à l'action contre les changements climatiques, le gouvernement fédéral allait le faire seul. Je reconnais ce que l'Alberta a dit, mais de toute façon, leur propre plan par rapport au changement climatique va continuer d'être en place et continuer d'être équivalent à celui aux cibles établies par le gouvernement fédéral pendant encore plusieurs années. Et on va continuer de travailler avec tous les gouvernements pour assurer qu'on puisse avancer de la bonne façon. On a encore beaucoup de conversations à faire, mais je sais que la première ministre Notley, à qui j'ai parlé hier après-midi, continue d'être ferme dans son engagement et de croître l'économie et de protéger l'environnement. Et c'est quelque chose sur lequel nous allons continuer de travailler ensemble de différentes façons.
Merci. Une question pour le Québec cette fois. Donc, au Québec, en pleine campagne électorale, les 4 partis font front commun pour que vous ne fassiez pas de concessions sur la gestion de l'offre. Est-ce que vous allez abandonner le Québec?
J'ai toujours dit que j'allais toujours défendre la gestion de l'offre. C'est un système qui fonctionne pas seulement pour les agriculteurs, mais pour les consommateurs canadiens aussi. Les Américains subventionnent à un niveau de centaines de millions de dollars par année leurs producteurs laitiers. Nous, on a un système de gestion de l'offre qui protège nos agriculteurs et assure la fiabilité de nos produits agricoles dans ce système-là. On sait très bien, les Américains veulent qu'on élimine la gestion de l'offre. Nous n'allons pas fléchir, nous n'allons pas éliminer la gestion de l'offre.
Good morning, Rika Sakali, Oshawa this week. What would you say to local manufacturing workers, especially in the auto industry here in Oshawa, who are very worried about the potential for auto tariffs as well as the steel tariffs and the impact it will have on their jobs?
One of the things that we've been seeing, not just from this government, from Canadians right across the country over the course of this summer, is that Canadians are there for each other. We stand up for each other, whether it's folks reaching out to support their friends in the steel or aluminum sectors, or the fact that we will always be there for our workers, whether it's in the automotive sector, whether it's in the forestry sector. Canadians support each other. That's what we do. We recognize the challenges around the trade discussions with the United States. We have moved forward in a way that demonstrates that we are responding with countervailing duties that are causing challenges in the United States, but that's not our goal. Our goal has always been to get to smooth and fair and free trade between Canada and the United States. The best way to do that is to move forward with a NAFTA that is a good deal for Canada. But as I've said, at the negotiating table on international trade, we will always stand up for Canadians, we will always stand up for Canadian interests, and we will always defend Canadian workers. That's what we've been clear on, and that's what we will continue to do.
Hello, Janice Williams, The Chronicle, here at Durham College in UOIT. I was wondering your thoughts on Premier Ford's position regarding free speech and funding for universities.
Obviously, we're a country that recognizes free speech. It's an important basic right that our party has always been willing to defend. I think defending Canadians' rights and being the party of the Charter of Rights and Freedoms continues to be extremely important. One of the things that we've seen, however, is the Conservatives continue to try and play the politics of division, of fear, of making political hay out of things that should be basic rights we well reflect and defend. And I think the capacity to stoke political advantage for small short-term gains is something that I have been very clear about pushing back against. We need to have a country that is open, respectful, that engages across the full range of diversity of views, and that includes a range of diversity of ideologies. We have no space for hate speech. We have, as a government, little tolerance for people who want to reduce or eliminate rights for women, for example, that have been long fought for. These are the kinds of things that we will always stand for, and we will continue to.
Can you repeat in French?
Nous allons toujours défendre les droits et libertés des Canadiens, que ce soit la liberté d'expression, la liberté de religion ou toutes les autres libertés protégées dans la Charte. Nous allons toujours chercher à le faire en rassemblant les Canadiens et pas en jouant les politiques de division, de peur ou d'intimidation, comme malheureusement on voit souvent par le Parti conservateur. Nous restons fermes que de défendre les droits des Canadiens peut nous rendre plus forts et pas nous diviser les uns contre les autres.
Morning, Prime Minister. Ian Bix with the Canadian Press. Just wanted to follow up on the media reports this morning of what Trump said, where he's not going to make any compromise in the NAFTA negotiations. And wanted to get your sense of, do you believe these remarks to be accurate?
You know, over the past year and a half, there's a lot of things that have been said from time to time. I think people have noticed that our government's approach is always to stay constructive, positive, to engage on the substance of issues, and to demonstrate that we understand that the path forward is one of making sure that there's a win-win-win on all sides. We're going to remain constructive, positive, serious and creative about what we do around the negotiating table, what we do in relation with the United States, but we are also going to be unequivocal about always standing up for Canadians' rights and Canadians' interests. That's what people expect. That's what I'm going to do.
And just related to what the American administrators are saying, is Canada making any concessions on agriculture or dairy subsidies?
I'm not going to negotiate in public, but I can say that over the past number of days, we've had some very positive conversations on a broad range of issues, and we have been very clear about where our red lines are. We've been very clear about where we think there's room for give and take. This is something that we take seriously as a renegotiation. We understand how this works. We've remained good faith about it. We've remained constructive and reasonable, and we will continue to do that.
Thank you.
Merci beaucoup tout le monde. Thank you very much for being here.